Hey everyone, welcome back to the Money Game. A lot of you really loved the last video we dropped where I took $100 and spread across a bunch of different ways to invest. Today, it's finally time to sit down together, look at the actual results, and break down exactly how much money that little experiment made or lost. But here's the exciting twist that makes this one special. I've invited a young guy named Tom who's never invested a single dollar in his life. Right now, he's between jobs. Things are feeling a little tough for him, and money is tight. He thought he was just coming over for a simple beginner-friendly chat about investing. But I got a big surprise plan for him that I know is going to light a fire in his eyes. I'm actually going to hand him some real money today to kickstart his very first investing journey. Because honestly, when I was his age, I would have given anything for someone to believe in me enough to do the same. If you love this idea and you want to see me do it with more young people who need that push, then smash that like button right now and let me know. I'm genuinely pumped for this one. I can't wait to see the look on his face when I tell him. He's going to be walking through that door any minute now. So here we are with Tom. Hey man, how are you holding up today? I'm doing all right, but it's been a really tough stretch lately. You know, I've been out there searching for a new career path and trying to land a solid job. I know you mentioned before that investing sounds interesting to you. Yeah, I'm definitely curious about it, but I don't know nearly as much as I'd like. I've been watching a ton of videos on the money game. My friends have been watching them too, and some of them have already started putting money to work. So I'd really like to give this a real shot. That's awesome to hear, Tom, because that's exactly what we're all about here on the money game, getting more young people investing early, so they don't have to struggle the way so many of us did. Tom, we recently made a video where I took $100 and tested across 8 completely different types of investments. In this episode, we're going to review every single one of them together, see what happened, and learn the real lessons. You ready? Should we dive straight in? Yes, let's do it. All right, investment number 1, a high-interest savings account. We put the full $100 in there. Right now, it's showing a return of just 0.04%. That's because the interest rates got lowered after we started. So our actual profit? Only 4 cents. 4 cents? That doesn't sound like much at all. Why in the world would anyone put their money in something like that? Look, this one isn't really about getting rich from the interest. These days, it's honestly pretty hard to find a savings account that pays serious rates. The real power of this account is something much deeper. It's your emergency backup fund. You should aim to have about 4 to 5 months of your basic living expenses sitting safe in there. Why would I need that kind of safety net? Because life throws curveballs at all of us. Imagine your car gets a flat tire on the highway late at night, or the engine suddenly blows up, or maybe you get hit with an unexpected medical bill. If you got that cash ready, you can handle the problem immediately without panicking and borrowing money at crazy high interest rates from credit cards or payday loans. So this isn't about the tiny bit of money you make. It's about the huge amount of money and stress you save. You've got it. Something a lot of people still don't realize is that roughly 60 to 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now. That means they're one unexpected bill away from real trouble. By building even a small emergency fund like this, you're already getting ahead of the majority. That's where I want to be, ahead of the game, not constantly stressed. Next up, investment number 2, gold. We put another $100 into gold. Oh man, I love the idea of gold. We all do, right? It's shiny, it's timeless. It's got that feeling of real value. But here's what actually happened. The return on this one was minus 0.98%. We lost 98 cents. So why would anyone invest in something that can lose money? Because gold is one of the best protectors we have against inflation. Let me paint the picture for you. Think about this dollar bill in your hand right now. Since 1913, that same dollar has lost over 95% of its purchasing power. That's why your grandparents always tell stories about how far their money used to go. A movie ticket for a nickel, a full tank of gas for a couple of dollars, a house for what now feels like pocket change. But how exactly does gold connect to that? It's actually pretty straightforward. As the dollar slowly loses value because of inflation, gold tends to hold its value or even rise. By putting some of your money into gold, you're protecting it from that silent thief called inflation. Now, you might ask, If that's true, why did we lose a little money this time? Simple. The gold market fluctuates just like everything else. It doesn't move in a straight line. Gold often moves opposite to the dollar's strength, and short-term it can dip, but over the long haul, it's been a reliable store of value when paper money gets weaker. I never really thought about it that way before. And you don't have to go out and buy physical bars or coins and hide them under your bed. I prefer using ETFs and ETCs. These are fun to hold the actual gold for you in secure vaults all around the world. You can buy and sell them easily on the stock market, just like any other investment. There are literally billions of dollars worth of gold stored safely this way. That's actually pretty cool. I had no idea you could invest in gold like that. To wrap this section up, gold is extremely rare. You can't just print more of it like money. Sure, you could mine more, but it's incredibly expensive, so new supply is limited. That means it won't lose value the same way cash does over decades, unless, of course, someone like Elon Musk discovers a giant gold-filled asteroid and starts bringing it back to Earth. But until that day, gold remains one of the great historical protectors of wealth. Investment number 3 was an S&P 500 index fund. Once again, we put in $100. This time, the return was positive 1.84%, which gave us a profit of $1.84. That's a decent little profit. But what exactly is an index fund anyway? Let me make this crystal clear with a metaphor you'll never forget. Owning a single stock is like owning just one cow in a giant field. If that one cow gets sick and dies, you're left with no milk, no income, nothing. But owning an index fund? That's like owning a tiny piece of the entire herd. If one cow has a bad day, it barely affects you because you've got hundreds of others still producing. The S&P 500 is basically the 500 strongest, most successful public companies in the entire United States. Giants like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and now Tesla and Nvidia. The companies shaping our future. So yes, with one simple click, you can own a small slice of all of them at once. And the best part? The fees are extremely low because it's passively managed. No highly paid experts trying to outsmart the market every day. It's diversified across hundreds of companies, which makes the risk much lower than picking individual stocks. I'm not going to lie, only making $1.84 doesn't sound life-changing. But here's the part that should blow your mind, Tom. That $1.84 happened in just a month and a half. Now imagine putting $100 a month into the same S&P 500 index fund growing at an average of around 8 to 10% per year over 45 years. You win in thousands, you'd have over $500,000. That's the power of time and compounding working for you instead of against you. That sounds absolutely amazing. And the crazy thing is, finding that extra $100 a month is more doable than most people think. Skip a few fancy Starbucks runs, cut back on one subscription, or pick up a simple side hustle on weekends. That money can quietly build the kind of future most people only dream about. Investment number 4, a REIT, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. We put another $100 in. The value actually dropped a little by 0.4%, but we still received a dividend of 57 cents, which means we end up 11 cents in profit overall. So what exactly is a REIT? Picture this. You and a bunch of your friends pool money together, borrow a little more if needed, and buy an actual property, maybe an apartment building, an office complex, or a hotel. Then you rent it out. Because you're a good person, you split all that rental income with everyone who chipped in. That's basically how a REIT works, but on a massive professional scale with commercial properties. That dividend you receive, it's your share of the rent coming in from those buildings. These companies often have long-term leases with big tenants, which makes the income pretty stable and secure. So this is how regular people like us can get exposure to real estate without ever having to save up for a down payment, deal with tenants at 2 a.m., or worry about fixing a leaky roof. I've always dreamed of getting into property investing. This could actually be my realistic way in. Investment number 5 is one of my absolute favorites. It's business, buying and selling smart. I did some digging and found a model engine that was clearly underpriced. I bought it, then sold it on eBay for a nice profit. The seller even threw in a model airplane that I flipped too. Total profit on this one, $67.87. Why did we rate the risk level at 4 out of 10? Because success here depends heavily on your own knowledge and eye for value. If you know what you're looking for and can spot good deals, you can make solid money. If not, you might overpay or get stuck with something nobody wants. I'm really into Star Wars stuff. Star Wars collectibles and original packaging can be worth serious money these days. Same with other vintage toys, sneakers, watches, you name it. All right, you got my attention now. Where should someone even start looking for these opportunities? Facebook Marketplace is gold for this. So is eBay. I personally hunt for listings with misspelled titles or terrible photos because those sellers often get fewer bids and you can snag real bargains. Then you clean them up, take good pictures, write a solid description, and sell for profit. The beautiful part is you can repeat this process again and again. One famous story is a guy who started with a single paperclip and through smart trades ended up with an entire house. That's the power of value arbitrage when you know what you're doing. Investment number 6 was an individual stock, Samsung. We picked it completely at random by throwing a dart at a board with 20 different company names on it. Wait, so this was a totally random investment? Yep, and look at the result. From $100, we made a return of 19.4%, which is $19.43 in profit. Wow, and that came with a risk level of 6.5? Exactly. Generally, the higher the risk, the higher the potential reward. Was luck involved in that dart throw? Absolutely. I was lucky I even hit the board. I wasn't wearing my glasses, and I might as well have been blindfolded, but that's the reality of stock picking sometimes. Luck and timing play a bigger role than people admit. Of course, you don't have to throw darts. You can do proper fundamental analysis, studying the company's financial statements, balance sheets, leadership team, and future growth prospects. All that information is freely available on sites like Yahoo Finance. So what's the smartest way for a beginner to actually get started investing in stocks? Right now, if you deposit $100 on certain platforms like Webull, they'll often give you free stocks as a welcome bonus. I'll leave the link in the description. And Tom, for you specifically, there's also a great option on Trading 212 where you can pick up a free share if you're in the right region. A free stock for basically doing nothing? Count me in. Investment number 7, crypto. We went with Bitcoin, $100 invested. And in that short time, we saw a return of plus 98%. Almost doubled our money in roughly a month and a half. That's incredible. Now, these aren't physical coins you hold in your hand. They're digital. What makes Bitcoin special is that it's decentralized. No single government or bank controls it. That gives a lot of people peace of mind because the traditional banking system can't freeze or inflate it away. Can you actually spend Bitcoin in the real world? Yes, and more businesses every year are starting to accept it. The more adoption there is, the more demand grows, which can push the value higher. Remember how we talked about the dollar losing value because governments keep printing more? Bitcoin has a hard cap on supply. Once all the coins are mined, which probably won't happen until the 22nd century, there will never be any more. That scarcity is powerful. But I've heard people say they're still making new Bitcoins all the time. They're mining them using powerful computers to solve complex problems, unlocking the remaining supply bit by bit. Once it's all mined, that's it. One big warning though. Bitcoin is extremely volatile. Its price can swing wildly. Back on December 17th, 2017, one Bitcoin hit over $20,000. Just a week later on Christmas Eve, it had crashed below $14,000. So it's a high-risk, high-reward game. You can win big or lose big depending on timing. For anyone who wants to dip their toes into crypto responsibly, I'll leave a link below where you can get $10 of free Bitcoin to start. Investment number 8 was honestly more of a gamble than an investment. Lottery scratch cards. We put $100 in and got a return of minus 50%. We lost $50. So why would anyone invest in lottery scratch cards? You wouldn't. And that's exactly the point I'm making. This is the highest risk category. We gave it a 10 out of 10. Sure, you could theoretically win big, and that's what makes it exciting for some people. But the odds are stacked heavily against you. You say that, but get this. Around 50% of Americans still buy lottery tickets every single year. That's a heartbreaking statistic when you think about it. So let's add it all up. Across the 8 different investments totaling $800, we ended with a total profit of $108. That's an 11% growth in just a month and a half. What do you think about those results, Tom? I think that's pretty impressive, especially since one of them was basically a lucky dart throw. Yeah, not bad at all. Keep in mind that 10% is considered a solid average return for an entire year in the stock market. So we did quite well in a short time. I agree. Now here's the real challenge I've been building up to. I spread $100 across those 8 areas, totaling $800. Today, I'm going to give you that same $800 right now to invest however you want in your top 3 choices from everything we just reviewed. At the end of the next month, you get to keep 100% of whatever those investments grow into. Seriously? You're really giving me $800? Yes. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to start investing for real. This is an incredible opportunity, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. That's exactly why we do this on the Money Game. We want to see more young people getting ahead in life instead of staying stuck. So which ones are you thinking about? Let me take a quick look back at all 8 to decide. While Tom's choosing, I want you watching at home to do the same. Drop your personal top 3 choices in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love seeing what you guys pick and why. All right, first one, the high interest savings account. No from me. Too low profit. Gold. That one lost money this time. No thanks. S&P 500 index fund. This one had a solid return and feels like the safest long-term option. Yeah, I'm definitely going with that. You're sure? Definitely. How much do you want to put in it? I think $200. Perfect. Let's head over to brokerage. Use one of the links. And while we're at it, we can get you that free share too. How good is that? Now search for the S&P 500. It's the Vanguard one at the top. We're buying $200 worth. There we go. Just like that. You now own a small piece of the 500 biggest and best companies in America: Amazon, Apple, Google, Tesla, you name it. That's amazing. I can go tell my friends I own part of all those companies. Next, the R. Looking at the return, it's a no for me. Too low. Business buying and selling. That one had the biggest profit, but I know I was lucky and it takes real knowledge. If I had more time, I'd consider it, but not right now. Individual stock. This one interests me a lot because I don't have to buy Samsung. I can pick any stock I want on the whole market. That's right. You might even find something with even better potential. I think I'm putting $400 into individual stocks. You might actually beat my results with that approach. Which stocks are you feeling? I really like Tesla and Google. Let's start with Tesla. How much? I'll split it, $200 in Tesla. You want to hit the buy button? Boom. Done. You now own part of Tesla. How does that feel? Incredible. And $200 into Google. There it is. You own part of Google too. As easy as that. Last one, Bitcoin and crypto. I like the look of this. Highest profit potential, but also highest risk. Yeah, but it's exciting, isn't it? It is exciting. I think I'm going to take a chance on it. All right, pull out your phone. Let's go to Coinbase and grab that $10 of free Bitcoin while we're at it. How does it feel putting real money into Bitcoin? It feels great. I'm hoping for a solid profit. Ready? By now. It's submitted. Done. Woo! High five. High five. You've now seen the full journey. From reviewing the results to helping someone brand new take their very first real steps into investing. If you want to keep growing your wealth the smart way and be part of a community that's actually taking action, then subscribe to the Money Game right now. Ring that notification bell so every new video lands in your feed first. And don't forget to smash that like button if this video fired you up and showed you what's possible. If you have a friend or family member who needs to see this, someone who's stuck, scared to start investing, or just needs that spark, please share this video with them today. You might be the person who changes their entire financial future. Drop a comment below and tell us, which of these 8 investments would you choose first and why? Let's talk about it. I'll see you on the other side. Family, this is a Money Game, where we turn knowledge into real wealth one step at a time.